How you doing, Cali Crowd? Today we're talking push-ups, specifically push-ups for people who cannot do them, so absolute beginners. The push-up is a fantastic fundamental exercise that can add serious value to your training goals, but it is also often done wrong and it can be intimidating for people who has never done this before. So today we're going to be going through a tutorial of the push-up specifically for beginners. But first, if you would like to be part of the helpful and motivating community that we've got here at Cali To The Crowd, then be sure to smash that subscribe button and ring the bell as well so that you never miss out on a Cali To The Crowd video. If you've never done a push-up before, they can appear quite scary. But even if you can't do one now, there are still steps that you can take to start building up the strength towards doing that first push-up. But before we get into what that beginner progression looks like, there are some cues that you need to be aware of if you're going to start trying to achieve this movement. So let's start with the first one, which is hand position. Having the hands quite wide is common amongst push-up beginners, and there isn't anything particularly wrong with this, but placing our hands shoulder width or closer to our body line is far more mechanically advantageous. You may find that by making this one change, you can already do more reps. The second cue is about the elbows. When taking a look at yourself from above, you may find that your push-ups look more like an uppercase T. However, what we want to be looking for is more of an arrowhead aesthetic. You'll find that this is not only more comfortable to bring your elbows closer to your body, but it's far easier to bring the shoulders away from the ears, engage the scapula, and activate the chest in this position. The third form cue we want to be aware of is screwing in the hands. Keeping the last two tips in mind, when we get into that push-up position, visualize screwing into light bulbs. And not only will this help keep those shoulders safe, but it will really engage your chest in a far more efficient way as well. The next cue we want to be conscious of is body awareness. We want to be deliberate with our practice, and to do that we have to be aware of what our whole body is doing. So rather than just focusing on getting the torso from A to B, really think about getting that chest nice and low without tucking the chin. Squeeze those scapula together at the bottom of the push-up and then pull them apart at the top. Squeeze the glutes and brace the core to eliminate the likelihood of the cardinal sin of push-ups, which is the valley back. Also, think about locking out your knees and squeezing your quads. In the push-up, our feet form part of our base of support, and by being mindful of what your legs are doing, you can prevent energy leaks from flimsy limbs. And the final cue to be aware of is tempo and range of motion. How many times have you seen push-ups done like this? We're in a gym, not a rave, and we don't help ourselves by doing these speedy, bouncing reps. By slowing down the movement, not only can we keep all those previous cues in mind, but by slowing it down, we end up spending quality time in the whole of the range of motion, which is fantastic for building strength and muscle. I personally would recommend beginners aim for a 2-1-1-1 tempo. That is to say, take 2 seconds on the way down, pause at the bottom, 1 second on the way up, then pause at the top as well. Okay, so how do we go about building up the strength to start working on the push-up if we've never done it before? Let's talk about the incline push-up. By elevating the hands on the push-up, we make this movement far easier. Keeping all those cues that we just went through in mind, choose an angle of inclination that allows you to just about perform 4 to 6 repetitions. The closer to vertical you are, the easier this will be. There is absolutely no shame here. We all have to start somewhere, so even use a wall if you have to. As long as you stick to the form cues we went through earlier, you will see improvements over time. Then, as you get stronger over a range of weeks, slowly bring yourself closer to the ground in the full push-up. The incline push-up is far more preferable as a beginner progression than the commonly recommended knees push-up. Mainly because when we get on our knees, it is a lot harder to practice perfect form and far too easy to fall into the bad habits of reduced range of motion or having that arch in that spine or simply just pivoting at the hips and moving your head up and down. But that's it guys, really quick beginner push-up tutorial for you all. But I want to know how many push-ups you can do. Let me know in the comment section below. Drop this video a like if you found it valuable, and I will see you in the next one.